Ears hitched, my mind in protest against my generation's current spokesman, the rapper. Self-proclaimed philosopher hybrid, resided in the recesses of our minds when your new track came on the radio slamming mindless words without substance, substandard, nothing to raise when my generation is barless. Your faithful listeners, the vulnerable kid, just to remind you, rapper and role model are a compatible mix. Instead, you make observations about your personal greatness. Pride bleeds from your lips, saying the same old-ish. Like, my rhymes will slay you like hollow tips. While the poet calls your lines just a hollowed fix. At best, thoughtless bliss. Your uselessness fluent on the tongues of infants. Their first words be curse words, while those with something to say remain cursed with words. All your curses have been heard. Keep your diamonds, your legacy's absurd. An audience of cradled cattle, eyes fixed for battle, saddled into a life of your glorified mistakes. So here I stand back on the runner's block, still have that writer's block. Seams cracked, splitting with the remnants of a verbal stock. The only aspect I forgot is my, ability to talk. My self-proclaimed chains remain, enslaved within the four corners of this paper's rectangular frame. Hope of raw thoughts tamed by the fear of sounding mundane the same. Detained by time, poetry maimed by the desire to rhyme, resurrected by the words taunting me, I need to speak, only giving this ballpoint pen a walk because my dog's asleep. But enough about the cause of this debatable poetry. I pray for the rapper's sake, you aren't held accountable for the words you speak. In purgatory, pointless lyrics make an intelligible future bleak, incalculable damage. You should have named your new album The Verbal BP Oil Leak. Jagged judgment, call this poem your own personal coral reef. Staining our next generation with your problems, go ahead and blame the baby for the broken condom. Sun awakes in cold sweat, who caused the dreams that haunt him? Andre Paris asked me to write a poem with the word anything, and I wrote a poem about anything last night. Anything to bring me beyond this particular point. Rhyme schemes defy me, my words left out of joint. Don't mind me trying to find these words to fit the timing. Blinding, dormant, rhyming, all stock. I'm sick and tired of whining. So I point to the particular reciprocal truth hung up on abstract. I curse my metaphysical roots, and I've had enough of these dudes bent on reprimanding the truth, solidifying stupidity dressed in modern philosophical suits. But back to the beginning, the method, the message, my canvas, the crevice, my mind stuck, I'm breathless. Or wordless, I meant it, or maybe I was mentless, meaning meaningless. Forget this poem, there's no point to even preface. I have just two more, very short. I have grown tired of ideals. This I can say with confidence. The rest, a creative attempt at correcting the shame of an empty page. To an aspiring writer, the vacant pages of a faceless journal, phraseless blank line papers untainted, or for us over here, cuadernos nuevos. Spark intrigue, frothing minds aroused by the proverbial sea of possibilities. But to the man whose mind sits heavy set with lead thoughts and tumultuous opinions, these canvas pages offer transportation for escape if he'd stop enslaving creativity into his own keyless cages, when his only other option is to leave these blank pages how we bought them, faceless. That is, if he, like me, fears the expressions of his own cognitions, while salty tears live his literary tongue tasteless, verbally broke so we can't afford the mental facelift, and so like the wrinkles on an old man's face, his only idea of any structure to the day is the predictable lines in his moleskin's pages. But like I said, I've grown tired of ideals and their maintenance. And so if ignorance has a price, I guess I'm just making my down payments. And my last poem is about my mother, so I must read it. 2 seconds, I swear. This poem is the only poem with a title, and it's because it's not done. It's called Notes on Family. Sorry, I don't have my poems memorized, so I don't really get to look at you guys. I'm sorry. I'll work on that. 32 years old, striking beauty only to be told, you can't have your baby, your body won't hold. By hold, he meant survive. You can't survey the words and curses to be heard around this time, where the dichotomy of choosing between you and he are forced to the forefront of your mind. crushed beneath the pressures of the doctor, the husband, her auntie. Don't be selfish, think of your family. Well, maybe, in fact, frankly, I'm gonna have this baby. Do you understand me? And that is me thinking of my family. These were the words written upon my soul, born free of defect while my mother alongside me grows old. When I speak of the dichotomy between she and he, I mean the choice my mother had to make between her and me. She chose me, a mother indeed. Stubborn like Muhammad Ali, she's my own personal Mahatma Gandhi. So ode to mi familia, straight to the criteria, Christ-like, that's what she's like, because she would willingly die for me. That's my story, and more importantly, my standard of what love looks like and can be. So understand me, even though parents separate with divorce, that doesn't force you to choose hatred as your course. That's my family, separated to the four corners of Toronto, but with love and respect, we right on spot, bro.